Anger doesn't arrive like a storm. It usually begins as a small spark, a word spoken carelessly, a look that feels disrespectful, or a moment where you feel ignored. But if you feed that spark, it becomes a fire that burns everything inside you. This is a story about a man who learned that lesson the hard way. In a quiet village surrounded by rocky hills and dusty paths, there lived a farmer named Salman. People didn't know him for his kindness or hard work. They knew him for one thing only: his anger. Salman's temper was quick and sharp. If the tea was cold, he complained. If the oxen moved slowly, he cursed. If someone spoke loudly near his house, his voice became louder than theirs. Even the smallest inconvenience felt like a personal attack to him. Inside his own home, the situation was no different. His wife, Zara, walked carefully around him, choosing her words like fragile glass. One evening, she accidentally burned the bread. Salman slammed his hand on the table and shouted, "Can't you do one thing properly?" Zara stayed silent. She had learned that silence caused less damage than arguments. Salman believed the world was against him. In his mind, people were rude, disrespectful, careless, and he was the victim. He often said, "If people behaved properly, I would be calm." But what Salman didn't realize was this. Every time he reacted, he handed his peace to someone else. One afternoon, while Salman was repairing a fence, a group of children ran past his field, laughing loudly. One of them accidentally knocked over a bucket of water. It spilled into the dirt. That was enough. Salman exploded. He shouted so fiercely that the children froze in fear. One boy began to cry. They ran away without looking back. For a moment, Salman felt powerful. But moments later, that familiar emptiness returned. That night, Salman sat outside his house, staring at the dark sky. His chest felt heavy. His body was tired, but his mind wouldn't rest. "Why do I always feel worse after getting angry?" he muttered to himself. Zara sat beside him quietly and said, "Anger doesn't punish others, Salman. It punishes you." Salman wanted to argue, but he didn't. Her words stayed with him longer than he expected. A few days later, something unusual happened in the village. A traveler arrived, an old man with calm eyes and simple clothes. He carried no possessions except a wooden staff. He spent most of his time sitting under a large neem tree near the well. People whispered, "He doesn't talk much, but when he does, his words stay with you." Zara encouraged Salman to meet him. "Maybe he can help you," she said gently. Salman laughed. "What can a quiet old man teach someone like me? He doesn't deal with real problems." But life has its own way of pushing us toward lessons we avoid. The very next morning, Salman went to the market. A shopkeeper tried to overcharge him. Salman shouted, accused him of cheating, and created a scene. People stared. Some whispered. Others laughed quietly. Salman stormed home, angrier than before, humiliated, and exhausted. That night, sleep refused to come. His thoughts repeated the scene again and again. Finally, before sunrise, he got up and walked toward the well. The traveler was already there, sitting silently, watching the birds. Salman stood awkwardly for a moment, then said, "Everyone makes me angry. I don't want to live like this anymore." The old man opened his eyes and looked at him calmly. "Sit," he said softly. Salman sat down, not knowing that this quiet moment was about to challenge everything he believed about anger, control, and power. And what the traveler would say next would change the course of Salman's life forever. The morning air was cool, but Salman's mind felt restless. He sat under the neem tree, facing the old traveler whose calm presence felt strangely heavy. After a long silence, the old man finally spoke. "Tell me, Salman," he asked gently, "when someone insults you, where does the anger come from?" Salman frowned. "From them, of course. From their words." The old man smiled faintly. If anger truly came from others, then everyone would feel angry at the same time. But they don't. Why? Salman didn't answer. No one had ever asked him this before. The old man reached for a clay cup, filled it with water from the well, and held it out. The surface of the water was still, like a mirror. "Look into it," he said. Salman saw his reflection clearly. Then the old man shook the cup gently. The water rippled, the image breaking apart. "Can you see yourself now?" the old man asked. No, Salmon replied. This is your mind, the traveler said. Calm, it reflects truth. Disturbed, it reflects nothing clearly. Salmon felt uncomfortable. So you're saying I should just accept insults? Let people walk over me? The old man chuckled softly. No. Silence is not weakness. But reacting without control is surrender. Salmon looked confused. When someone throws dust at you, the traveler continued, you have two choices. You can grab it, or step aside and let it fall. Which hurts you more? Salmon slowly replied, grabbing it. Exactly, said the old man. Anger is the dust you choose to catch. The words sank in deeper than Salmon expected. The traveler then stood up and walked toward the fire pit nearby. Bring me a pot of water, he said. Salmon obeyed. They placed the pot on the fire. As the minutes passed, the water began to heat. Small bubbles formed, then stronger ones. Touch it, the old man said. Salmon pulled his hand back quickly. It will burn me. That is anger, the traveler said. When emotions boil, peace becomes untouchable. He then picked up a handful of sand and dropped it into the boiling water. The water turned cloudy. This, he said, is your mind when you react without thinking. After removing the pot from the fire, the old man poured the water into a bowl and waited. Slowly, the sand settled at the bottom. The water became clear again. What changed? The traveler asked. Salmon answered quietly, the water rested. So did the sand, the old man said. Your thoughts behave the same way when you stop feeding them. Salmon felt something shift inside him. For the first time, he realized how often he had kept his own mind boiling. The traveler looked at him seriously. For the next few days, practice this. When anger rises, pause. Breathe. Do nothing for a moment. That sounds easy, Salmon said. The old man smiled. It will be the hardest thing you've ever done. Later that day, Salmon returned home. A neighbor complained that Salmon's goat had wandered too close to his land. Normally, Salmon would have argued fiercely. But this time, he paused. His chest felt tight. His hands trembled. His old habit screamed, shout back. Instead, he took a slow breath and said, I'll tie the goat properly. It won't happen again. The neighbor stared at him, surprised. Salmon walked away, his heart pounding, but something felt different. The anger faded quickly. There was no burning afterward. That night, Salmon slept deeply for the first time in years. But true change is never tested in quiet moments. It is tested when pride is attacked. A few days later at the market, a group of men whispered and laughed as Salmon passed. Look, one of them said loudly, the angry man has learned to be quiet. Salmon felt the heat rise instantly. His fists clenched. Every part of him wanted to turn back, to shout, to prove himself. Then he remembered the traveler's words. When you react, you give your power away. Salmon turned around slowly and smiled. You're right, he said calmly. I used to get angry. Now I'm learning something better. The men fell silent, confused by his calm. Salmon walked on, feeling lighter with every step. Yet deep inside, he wondered, would this calm survive a real storm? Salmon's calm was still new, like a fragile plant growing in hard soil. Some days it felt strong. Other days, it felt like it could snap with one careless word. The traveler had left the village quietly a week earlier, leaving behind no address, no instructions, only his lessons. Pause, Salmon reminded himself every morning. Breathe before you respond. For a while, it worked. Then came the day that truly tested him. It was late afternoon when Salmon returned from the fields, tired and dusty. As he reached the edge of the village, he saw a small crowd gathered near his house. His heart sank. Zara was standing outside, her face pale. What happened? Salmon asked, his voice tense. A neighbor spoke quickly. Your storage shed caught fire. We tried to save what we could. Salmon ran. Smoke still lingered in the air. The wooden door of the shed was blackened. Inside, sacks of grain were ruined, tools cracked and burned. Months of hard work, gone. Something snapped inside him. A young boy stood nearby, staring at the ground. One of the villagers whispered it was him. He was playing with fire. Salman's vision blurred. His ears rang. His chest burned hotter than the fire that had destroyed his shed. This wasn't an insult. This wasn't mockery. This was loss. The old Salman rose quickly, loud and furious. He took a step toward the boy. The boy trembled, tears rolling down his cheeks. "I didn't mean to," he whispered. Salman's fists clenched so tightly his nails dug into his palms. His mind screamed, shout, blame, punish. Then, like a quiet echo, the traveler's voice returned. "When emotions boil, you cannot touch peace." Salman stopped. His breath was fast and shallow. His body wanted to explode, but he forced himself to pause. One breath, then another. The crowd waited, expecting the storm. Salman looked at the destroyed shed again. The loss still hurt, but now, something else became clear. Yelling wouldn't rebuild it. Anger wouldn't bring anything back. Slowly, Salman turned to the boy and said, "Go home." The boy looked up, shocked. "I'm sorry," he cried. "I know," Salman replied quietly. "Learn from this." The crowd murmured in disbelief. This was not the Salman they knew. That night, Salman sat alone, staring at the ashes. The calm he felt wasn't relief, it was strength. For the first time, he had faced real pain without surrendering to anger. The next few days were difficult. Rebuilding took effort. Money was tight. People offered advice, opinions, and unwanted comments. One man said, if you had shouted that day, people would think twice before making mistakes. Salman replied calmly, "Fear doesn't teach responsibility. Awareness does." Some nodded. Others laughed. Salman didn't mind. But life had one more test waiting. A few weeks later, Salman went to the market to sell what little produce he had left. A trader examined his goods and smirked. "This isn't worth much," the trader said loudly. "You farmers always exaggerate." Old fire stirred again. This time, the insult wasn't about loss, it was about pride. Salman inhaled slowly. "Then I'll sell it to someone who sees its value," he said and turned to leave. The trader laughed mockingly. "Running away now?" Salman paused, turned back, and said evenly, "Walking away from disrespect isn't weakness. It's clarity." The laughter stopped. Salman walked out of the market feeling something new, confidence without noise. At home, Zara noticed the change. "You don't carry anger back with you anymore," she said softly. Salman smiled. "Because I stopped carrying it in the first place." That evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Salman realized something powerful. Anger had once been his shield. Now it felt like a chain he had finally broken. But deep inside, a question lingered. Was this calm permanent? Or would anger return when the next storm arrived? Time passed, and with each passing week, Salman's calm grew less fragile. It no longer felt like something he had to force. It felt like something he had chosen. People in the village noticed. The man who once shouted at children now greeted them with a nod. The farmer who argued at the market now spoke little, but when he did, people listened. Some respected the change. Others waited, certain it wouldn't last. People never change, they said. Life decided to answer that doubt with one final test. One evening, as Salman returned home, he saw a familiar figure standing outside his house. His stomach tightened. It was Rashid, his cousin. Years ago, Rashid and Salman had argued over land inheritance. Words had turned into shouting, shouting into threats. They hadn't spoken since. That anger had burned for years, long before Salman met the traveler. Rashid's face was tense. His tone sharp. "I heard you've become calm now," Rashid said sarcastically. "Let's see how calm you are today." Salman felt the old weight press against his chest. Rashid continued, "The land near the river, you took more than your share. Everyone knows it." This was different. This wasn't a stranger. This was old anger, buried deep. For a moment, Salman felt himself slipping backward. Memories rushed in, insults, sleepless nights, bitterness. The easy choice was to fight. The familiar choice was to shout. Instead, Salman breathed. Slowly, deliberately. I didn't take anything that wasn't agreed upon, Salman said calmly. But if you feel wronged, let's sit and look at it together. Rashid blinked, thrown off balance. You think I want peace now? He snapped. No, Salman replied. I want peace. Those words carried weight. Villagers gathered, sensing tension. They expected shouting. They expected the old Salman to return. But Salman stayed still, like water that refuses to boil. Rashid raised his voice, accusing, mocking. Salman listened without interrupting. When Rashid finally ran out of words, Salman said quietly, anger won't give either of us back the years we lost. But calm might save the years ahead. Silence fell. Rashid's shoulders dropped slightly. The fire in his eyes faded, not fully, but enough. Maybe, we should talk another day, Rashid muttered before walking away. That night, Salman felt something release inside him, something older than his temper. Forgiveness. Not for Rashid. For himself. Weeks later, Salman visited the neem tree near the well. He hadn't been there since the traveler left. Sitting beneath its shade, he smiled softly. I understand now, he whispered. Life didn't become easier. Problems didn't disappear. People still tested him. But the difference was clear. Salman no longer reacted. He responded. When children annoyed him, he remembered his own impatience. When traders disrespected him, he remembered his worth. When loss arrived, he allowed himself to feel pain, but not anger. One afternoon, a young boy approached him and asked, Uncle Salman, don't people make you angry anymore? Salman smiled gently. They try. Then how do you stop it? The boy asked. Salman picked up a handful of dust and let it fall through his fingers. Not everything thrown at you needs to be caught. The boy nodded, not fully understanding, but feeling the truth anyway. Years later, people began coming to Salman for advice. Not because he spoke loudly, but because he lived quietly. And whenever someone asked how he had changed, Salman always said the same thing. You can't control the world. But you can control what you give power over you. The moment you stop reacting, you start living. Anger once ruled his life. Calm became his freedom. And that choice, made again and again, changed everything.